right. Good morning. Good morning. Lost my chat function yet again. All right. There we go. Good. All right. So it looks like Elizabeth Holmes has lost her bid. She going to prison and has to pay 452 million in a separate trial. So she's not having a good morning. Not at all. Anyway, we got some decent movement. We got some dollar strength coming across the board, rolling in. I don't know if that is dead stuff, or if that's just a continuation of what we're seeing with the dollar, right? And again, it could be the interest rate opinions of rising. It's where we're at. Um, Barely speaking this morning, we didn't really get too much. A little bit of strength coming out of the one. Here's one of them right now, right? If there were to be evidence of more persistent pressures, then further tightening of monetary policy would be required. Inflation is much too high, and we need to bring it back substantially to our 2% target. So it's funny, you read the first one, you're like, yeah, dovish. This one, whew, hawkish, right? The MCB is continuing to address the risk of more persistent strength in domestic prices and wage settings. Um, it's failed to grow beyond its pre-pandemic level on a sustained basis. Things are looking a bit brighter than they did a couple months ago, which I would agree. It's good. But again, kind of like the ping pong. This right here, it's like, if we need to do it more, we will, right? Very, very kind of it's very like dovish, right? And then over here, it's like, oh, it's way too high. We need to bring it down substantially, right? Or sustainably, sorry, not substantially, sustainably to our 2% target. So yeah, basically acknowledging that we got some more room to run. And really, the big question is going to be, how long should we let it take? Right? Do we let it go 2 years? Do we let it go 3 years? How long is it going to take? Right? It should have been out by now, but we'll see. So, besides that, the only thing we got this morning is oil. Right? Right. You're looking at this here. We got security purchase, not a big deal. Building permits came in exactly as expected. Crude oil coming in, expected to be a little bit of down draw, and then we got nothing all day. So I mean, talk about kind of a day of not a lot going on. But we do have this employment rate tonight, which I'm kind of excited about that. That's the only good big thing out here. That looks like it could be a high probability, right? Um, yeah, actually, let me pull up the API numbers. No, don't need to do that one. All right, so good. Let me pull this over here because we're gonna need this one later. And looking like there's a little bit of a surplus coming in. So yeah. And then tomorrow morning, let me take this back off, go here. Tomorrow morning we do have some monetary policy hearings, right? The equivalent of like the FOMC hearings. We'll get that at 5:15, and then bam, we slide right into Philly manufacturing and unemployment claims. And unemployment claims expected to be lower than where they were last time. So, is that a big release? Eh, I don't know. We'll see. And then Macklin speaking right after that. So again, not another day of not a lot this week, and that's just, I don't know, just what we have. But overall, again, we are seeing the dollar move again. Strength, 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 strength. Obviously here, pound strength and a little bit of pound strength, but we're rolling back just a little bit, but not too much, right? So it could be worse. Could be worse. There's a couple small little trades in here. Your dollar being one of them. Excuse me. Yeah. I've only had half that cup of coffee, and it's not working real well. So Kip has now decided that his natural wake up time is going to be 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's like, hey, if I went to bed at 8 o'clock at night, that would be cool. But I do not go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. So yeah, working on that one. Hopefully he'll nap today. And give me a little bit of a break. But Melissa's home today, so maybe. So that's what we got. VIX. VIX kind of all over the place, right? We're still, and again, I feel like we've been talking about this all week. 1750, right? 1750 seems to be the magic number, right? We go up a little bit to like 18, and then we come back down to 17 or 1650, and we just keep basing back and forth. We had a rally up yesterday, as we should have, right? And then a pullback down again today, and you're seeing because of it, everything is slightly in the green. There's no real news today to make this worse, right? To make any of the information worse. The dollar's up a little bit, right? So we have the dollar up, and we have all the equities up today, right? So not necessarily a bad situation. Dollar right here, you can see the dollar creeping higher, creeping higher, creeping higher. And yes, late last night, just started to take off. And we mentioned a small little level, and it kind of got front run at noon yesterday. We're like, yeah, you could hit it. And then it started the base here. You're like, oh, it's breaking. It's breaking. We're back up at 103, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about 101.50 for so long, and now we're at 103. Kind of crazy, huh? Right? So yeah, continuing to rise, and it's like, wait a second, they're saying, hey, listen, the Fed's done; they're not raising anymore. I think the realization is kind of like, I think we're going to need to raise a little bit more, right? Maybe another 0.25, and then maybe a pause. But I think what this is really just the I don't want to say belief, but maybe acceptance is a better word. The acceptance that they're not going to cut 0.75% this year, right? Because that seemed to be the kind of overall consensus that, hey, they're gonna raise one more time, and then they're gonna cut 0.75 before the end of the year. I think this is the realization that, hey, listen, that's not necessarily going to happen. But indices all in the green. Commodities are mixed, right? Natural gas, thankfully, is down, but it's only down 1.5. It's still up at 233, which is ridiculous. Oil showing up at 1.26, but it's at 71.76. We talked about 72 being that magic number, and we'll see with that surplus out there if what's going to happen with this, if we'll have a turn and roll back down again. Gold, 1980, such a fine year. Find me a wine from that year, right? 1980, we love it. It's down 0.4%, right? Down $8 today. That's a great spot. And then look at silver. Silver's technically up 0.2, right? But it's 23.75, 23.76, right? So again, kind of pulling back down where we are more kind of comfortable with them being at. Overall, happy with those. Like I said, that 2020 was kind of ridiculous in gold. And is really starting to push back down again. And again, being up at 25 was nuts. And now we're back down at that 23.76. And again, a lot of this has to do with where we're seeing the dollar. So looking at the Aussie dollar right there. So had this quick spike through yesterday morning. We talked about that. And funny enough, we had a level there, and we talked about a profit target here. And look what it did. It actually used that level here in a Harry Potter late last night, right? Came down, based right through these two levels, right? Because again, we were looking for the break, right? This one hit, popped up again, hit. It's like, oh yeah, pull back up again. And it did. It pulled back up, went all the way down. And yeah, this has been like the story of the week, right? We talked about 66.28, point 0.6, another point 0.6. So yeah, doesn't that suck? It's like, right there. Yeah, and point 0.6. And it rallied all the way back up again. So yeah, so Aussie dollar. It doesn't look like it's moved tons. I mean, we're talking about 31 pips in 24 hours. You wouldn't say that that's a lot. But yesterday we got that nice spike up and spike back down again. And then we kind of got, again, take this one off. That was successful. And then obviously there's the level of basing, right? Came back up, grabbed it, and then went all the way down and we missed the target. And then it pulled back up to the same spot. We were sitting right, the 1030 candles right here. So we're kind of right where we were yesterday. Not much difference. But again, both profit targets tagged out. It reversed. Fortunately, it missed it by 0.6 pips and then reversed back up again. So where we are now, we can clear some of this up. We can take this off. That Harry Potter, we know it's there. We're so close at this point. I don't care. We're going to remove the 78.6 and just draw this from the top down. It makes more sense at this point. We'll go there to there. Again, Harry Potter level, right? But do we take this for a short? It's there. You could kind of draw a new level and the 23.6 there. The problem with this one is this candle right here. I don't know if you guys can see this clearly. This candle right here, right at 9:30 from yesterday. Hate it. Look at this. One spike up and one. If this spike didn't exist, it'd be very, very easy to draw this one and say, oh, look at this. There's a trade sitting right there. But because of that wick, it makes it a little bit hard to do. So right now, again, we've seen the dollar weakness roll back in again since about the European session. Could it turn and flip here? It could. It absolutely could. I wish we had some news to kind of help act as a catalyst to do that one. It'd be nice, right? It'd be nice, but I don't know if we're gonna get it. You're seeing some red here, but you know, it's a little bit of retracement. Hold on, what do we have here? It's also running into cells. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm not opposed to it. I liked it much better here. Again, if you're one of the kind of, there'll be people that are looking for this one here. Obviously, on a 4 hour basis, here, we'll just do it this way, easy, right? 4 hour, right? Eliminate action, go to anchor, go across, downtrend. It's painted green right now, right? So in a 30-minute, you're looking for a level at its simplest form. Um, there's the first really clean level, right? So we are in a 4 hour 30 downtrend setup. It has hit. It does have the 23 backstop by a little bit. Um, it's just that this was already one trade before, so yeah, it's there. How much risk is it? It's probably not that much. Yeah, it's only about 8, so it's not horrible, right? What do we need for this one to the downside? I just wish it hadn't hit it already, right? Again, it was kind of the Harry Potter. This is already an entry. Like if this just came down in one candle and then this was the top, I would love it. That'd be great. Along those lines. So it'd be nice if it was just a little bit higher too. Get a little bit more help from the 23 sixes because now that it's peaked down here, now 23 6 you can see is sitting right above. So it's there. It's there. Aussie yen. Now Aussie yen also going higher. Now this one worked did exactly what it should have. We mentioned the level here. You can see we hit it, and then again yesterday morning at 9:30 we came up and spiked and hit it again, and then we hit it again, and what did it do? It formed a base. One, two, three. Base below. It's breaking. It shot through. It's officially above the 78, so we can remove the 78 now. This still good. Let's run from. What was getting right? So look how the 50s now lined up with that Harry Potter in here, right? All right. Whoops. 9057. Ding ding. Again, could it get front run? Sure. But look how many times it's smashed off that level. So we're kind of due for a break on that one. One, two. There's a lot of base in there, but I'll remove that one. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're out on this one. I think that is fine. I'd be interested to see who it is there. If we can get up, I was looking to see what it would take to get the 23 to that level. And all it would do is take to bring it here. Look at that. Yeah, we need a little more help. Need a little more help. But that's not a pullback. That's not a bad. Not only turnaround. I think this is where we're looking right now. But again, this part's not really in yet, but I think it's a level that we should again. See, this is where I wanted to go this way, right? It'd be nice. Like just I can do it. I can do it the other way, but it would be nice, right? Like if I could do this. Ability. This label. I need like line. I need it bigger, right? Then it would look the same, right? But kind of. Oops. God, there's so many things in here. Text would be white. Yeah. The outside was bigger like that. It'd be better, right? Um, yeah. Something along those lines. Again, it's not there yet. I mean, again, nothing. I'd like it to turn there. Not quite there yet, but if we punch to here, if we get to the 9160, that's absolutely a sell opportunity. Not too much. Again, high, very strong push out of it. I love all those things about it. It's 10 pips. I love that even more. That's even more my favorite. Um, that gives us 40 pips down. That's awesome. We know it's going to reverse typically around 35. So we bring boom all the way down, grab the 23, and then take off higher. So I like that one. And if it continues to collapse, then we got to sell down here. So those are kind of the two right here. So not too bad. Now, if it turns and reverses on us, it's kind of like, ugh, we just save this for later. So, like, oh, it's actually, I was like, wire down here. So, not bad. All right. Euro dollar. Nice little trade this morning, right? So euro dollar, we're looking for some decent basing. You may say, well, how the heck did you draw this one? This was on whenever you see something like this that looks really, really strange, it's because it's on my phone. Okay. I use different lines on my phone, so I know where I got it from. So we were looking for a Harry Potter trade here. I got the alert that the alert went off, right? And I was trying to figure out, like, all right, where's the basing at in here? With a spike down, a spike back up, you're looking at this and you're like, well, that is a gigantic. I'll change it to the blue so we can see it. That's a gigantic zone. We're not interested in taking that, but we are looking for a level that's in close proximity of basing. So what I did was I dropped it down to a lower time frame, and all of a sudden now you're like, oh, there's a pullback. So as this punched through, we're looking for the next level to pull back, and look at that candle right there. Happened to be a great little candle. Small zone, only about 6.5 pips, right? And the other direction, actually it's 25 right there. I had it dead on, but right there. So you can see the trade's actually out. This was like a 6.5. Add a little bit of a buffer, go for 25 in the other direction. And again, it's still the same kind of Harry Potter play. We're looking for a short out of this area. It just when it bounced in and it came back up again, you could say, well, there's the base, but I'm really looking for a near term pullback. Like if it went from here and dropped down, then yes, I would look at that. But when you look at this right here, this down, pullback, one candle top, and push, that's a pretty nice little pullback level. Right, that's a pretty nice pullback level, and it did. It came up, it hit it, and went down. So easy 25 pips there. That's why you're seeing a purple line on there. At this point, again, we did talk about this Harry Potter being on a bigger spectrum. Problem is, the basing is not really, really clear in this one. So yes, we did get our short trade out of this one, out of this alert. We were looking for this to run down, and I think let's just bring this over here. Really until we get down to the 78. There's not a whole lot in here, so there is other potentials. Let's take this off. Again, that Harry Potter, we're officially out now. Let's delete this. Yeah, I mean, right now, I don't think there's another win in here. Yeah, I think right now we're coming all the way down. Yeah, I would say, again, profit target down here, right? If you didn't take yourself out, if you're still running this one lower, 107.95 is where this one's looking to come down to. Yeah, I mean, right now there's nothing. We know we're in a racetrack, so there's nothing to really stop this. Yeah. So yeah, this is unfortunately you could just be getting the trade now. You may still be running this one. Yeah, not going to be able to do much more on this one. Right. But easy pullback. And again, sometimes you have to do that when you're looking for that basing, guys. Um, Again, particularly when it's you're talking about candles made at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So euro pound. All right, so euro pound. Look at this one. So we knew that we had some speeches coming in, right? Actually, the speeches came in early at what 550 ish, right? This is at 6, so it came in a little bit early. I guess I could put on here and start talking about it. It was yeah, right in here, right there. Doesn't necessarily matter. We had talked about a level and a touch. That's exactly what it ran into. It did this right at the open. This is right around the 3 o'clock window. It did actually at 3:30 go just slightly above that zone. But again, we talk about again preparing for news. It drove right up and then it started to move a little bit early. And we talk about confirmations. There's your red. There's your green candle. There's your red close. There's your risk, right? And again, if you only want to use the top candle, it's fine. This is the confirmation. Put you in a little tiny bit deep. You could do it here, right? And 1 to 3 is sitting right there. Or if you wanted to do it off where the confirmation level was, you stack it down to here and you bring this down to right there. That's 3.01, which just happens to be the bottom level here, which also happens to be where it just went off. So it didn't matter either way. You got the confirmation in. Remember, this pair is not. I mean, this is 10 for 30 right here, right? It looks like it's a huge mover. It's not. That's 10 for 30 right there. So it's kind of more like this, right? But as far as using as a proxy today, pretty easy to do, right? And again, we're out. It hit the other side. That's where we mentioned there's probably going to be profit taking coming in because this has been European session straight down. So look for a turn and reversal back up again. Some pound weakness, some euro strength coming back in. Right now, again, we're still in the same time, same kind of channel, but again, no zone over here that we can really draw off of. That's a reliable zone. Great target, but not so much as far as an entry goes. So, but easy. Again, we drove up all the way up. News came out, right back down. All right. And again, trades just out just a little while ago if you use the big zone. So there's not much we can set up for it. Euro yen. So euro yen, look at this. Look at this touch yesterday at 12:30. We mentioned that, hey, listen, this is where the aggressive traders are coming in. Look at that. It did peak in there. You can see it. It did peak in there. Those aggressive traders got in there and then immediately pushed it back down again. And again, they came up and they've been fighting. And we talked about, again, the more conservative two levels. They're fighting hard, right? They are pushing in there. It's officially touched the 7 to 8 6, but look at the battle going on here. The first level of buyers below failed. It went lower, it grabbed even more, and then pushed higher again. And now we got lower highs going, and it looks like this one also could turn and roll back to the downside. So, yeah, I'd say bearish feeling in this one, right? Just because again, we've had to go lower and lower, low 5 binders, and now again we're faltering. I mean, unless we can get a strong push higher. Again, these were two shorts we talked about yesterday. Again, I still like of the two, I did like the 48.61 better, right? Actually, we could probably shrink that a little bit to there. Right, I'm just trying to get the bottom of the base there, not the 78. Let's see. I don't think it's out. 1 to 3 is right. Oh, we are. There's 307. So it did actually make it out. All right, my bad. Right there. 30. There's 303. Right. 15 for 45 in that direction. So the top one did work. Again, I adjusted it a little bit over here. I wanted it off the bottom of the green here, not the entire. I didn't want to use the 78.6 because that really wasn't where the top was. I'm just trying to shrink a little bit. But so again, 15 for 45 off that level. And again, had you hit it here, again, if you did use the more aggressive 148.50, it did run about 50 pips to the downside. You got to understand if it's run 50 pips, it's probably going to reverse a little bit. So that's not one that you should have, whether you play this aggressive or not. Again, taking 50 pips in something like this, not bad in either direction, right? There's 50, there's 45. Again, aggressive, conservative entry, either one is fine. Right now, I would start getting a little bit hesitant using that level if it does come back up again. Only because from the original zone, there's the confirmation here. We've hit it again, and we've hit it. We've gone a little bit higher. There is still room in here at this point. There's a room to there, but you got to realize we're really getting long in the tooth at this point with 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. This is hit number 4 at this point. So it's starting to get a little deep. So I'd be a little bit more cautious again. After it runs to there, the next level up top is going to be here. And again, is this, is it, there we go. Is it a racetrack? Yeah. But if I was taking this racetrack wise, I would probably use more this when that one breaks. Yeah, it's about 10. Oops. Man, I had it right on and I done messed it up. There, 3.01. Okay, so it's got room. Okay, now again, I'd like to see where it's going to base. It's got to base somewhere in this purple, red. I guess it could base inside of the yellow area, but I got to start seeing the base. All right. So as far as continued shorts go, again, 1, 2, 3. This is hit number 4, right? Look for the base, look for the break, look for the racetrack, look for it to go up to 149.11. Okay. Pound dollar. All right, pound dollar. So we'd mentioned there being a level down here, but again, it hit it here, hit it here. We didn't have much hope that it was going to hold, and it didn't. It didn't come all the way down. We basically had a late last night push down, and then 5:30 reversal came right back up again. And it grabbed levels. It kind of grabbed where it should have, right? There's a level, when this bottom came in. If you look at the 23, look at all the basing right at the 23 level, sitting right. And again, it's funny. Here's the blue line. Here's the old kind of like old 786 basing level they were using. Again, broke here, based here, broke. Look at all the basing in there. So it just goes to show you that these levels, old becomes new, are definitely a thing. I mean, all I'm doing is look from there, missed it, hit it here, bounced, came back up, based, went through, right? Came down, flat line, and it wasn't a 23.6 yet, and now it's a 23.6. So could you be short? Sure. You could be short right now. Again, all this is dollar weakness. I'm sorry, dollar strength coming into the market. 1 to 3 would be easy when you have to break through 124.20 on the low. I'll show you what it looks like right now. And again, 13 for okay, almost out. So but again, this is one of those ways to kind of loop multiple things. Old Harry Potter level, right? Old demand level that was broken, right? As it came back down. Again, touching, basing, drop, and it was a 23.6. It's how you layer multiple things on top of each other. Um, and again, right now in this position, you're up 28 pips already. So yeah, it needs to move 39. So maybe a little bit deep, but you should be good. Okay. Should be good to hit that one. All right. Yeah, easy trade setup for this morning. Pound yen. All right. So pound yen yesterday, 9:30. We came up and tagged it. If you didn't get that 9:30 entry, you can see it did hit here at 12 again. So you did have a second entry in this one. It came back down and base where it should have. You got out on this one a full 12 for 36. Profit target hit at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Again, another hit. Looking for it to go higher. You can see right now we talked about 171.01. We talked about it's kind of been there before. There's not a lot of kind of support for it. You can see it poke through and it looks like it's having some issues now. There is a red, there's a green in there. The green just started, it's 2 minutes in, so be cautious with it. If for some reason this thing does start to roll back down, a red could potentially roll all the way back down into this level down here, which is 170.24, which is about 86 pips. So, nice run up. And again, this one from 5:30 took off. I still like this guy up top. I think this is the next big area that we are really looking for any selling to come in. Um, Again, we had talked about 171.01 if you want to be aggressive with it, if we could line that one up for news. And we're there now, having some problems. Again, it's put kind of a top in, and we're starting the base. If it starts to pull down, you could absolutely draw this one here. I'll just pull this back because, again, this is yesterday's level. You could use this as a level here. If we pull that down, how much risk is this? And it's about 20, but again, it is the pound yen. So, we could potentially, let's see. Can we make this any better? Not really. Really. Now we need to get down to here and pull back up again. So you're kind of seeing it here, but we need to see it on a 30. But this could be a potential short, right? Could be. Could be. I'd like to see it come down and base and then come back up again. Um, and again, there's the one. Whoop! Oh, I had it dead on and I moved it. 3.01, close enough. Which is fine because profit taking on this one should come in right about there. Right. Um. Yeah. Yeah. So again, I'd like to see it push down and then pull back up again. I wouldn't be ready to just pull the trigger. So it was already a sell zone that we were talking about yesterday, but we got to see the right pattern. But if you're looking for something, if you haven't caught the other ones, there you go. Unfortunately on this one, so this one yesterday we did get the Harry Potter all the way down. It got out, came back up again. So let's pull that just so we don't confuse people. That one is good. We'll take that off. Yes, that is out. This is out. Um, this is an old level as well. We hit this at 9:30 yesterday. We're gonna hold it because it was tested. Problem with this one is it's just so whippy right now. Uh, Here's the thing. This is literally straight up, straight down. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, no zone. So the next base is really here, which doesn't coincide with anything. It's not a 61, it's not a 50, not a 78, nothing over here. New base, it was kind of higher. I'd like it if it was the other way around, so we kind of had a confirmation on it, right? If this peak was higher and then this was a failure to go higher, but it did go higher and then turn and roll. So, I'd say that there's a small level there. Again, if you could coincide that with news, I think that would be fine. Um, could Pal speaking screw this one up? Sure, sure. Oh, by the way, um, we talked yesterday about Home Depot earnings. I saw that Target earnings did beat, but they put a big warning on this quarter saying that they are absolutely seeing the spending habits being kind of reined in, pulled back. So that is Home Depot that says who changed their guidance, said they made a comment about spenders not spending, and now Target is saying that they are also seeing that they are, there's concerns about this quarter as spending habits are changing. So again, that's two big areas that they've made the same comments about spenders. Okay, that's that retail sales stuff that we were talking about. So could Pal sandbag this one? Sure. Right now, again, this is the range we're kind of standing in, right? Let's make this not as confusing, right? We'll make it not as confusing. Here's the range. We're sitting in the middle. No clean zone up top, no clean zone at the bottom. The best thing we have is really these two sides, which would be here and here. And we're running smack down in the middle with no zones. So is there much we can do with this one? Not so much. And you can see right now, dollar CAD says up 56, but since yesterday, it's up 0.9. Again, very whippy back and forth. So again, any great levels? Nah. This would be a crystal ball type play, right? So yeah, not working. Dollar Swiss. All right, so dollar Swiss. Look at the chop back and forth on this one. So we did break through, which is great. Looks like late last night, this one was like, yep, let's go. And it did. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 is what broke. It started the stabilizing base and then took off, right? Didn't really give us a hair pot entry. We didn't get the confirmation. It did pull back up and came back down again and took off. Unfortunately, really wasn't the best. I don't even think to stretch it now. You weren't even remotely close to a 23.6. So this is a hard one. We had marked off a level here, and we'd been here. We had a bunch of front running right here. We're like, you can see what it do. It hit that level, pulled back, and started the base. You're like, yep, it's going. It actually didn't pull. It pulled back. It just didn't get all the way down to the base and took off, and it's continuing to push higher. So I think that's great. We're, again, moving out of the range, which I think is good. Right now we take high to low on this one on a 30-minute. It's easy to grab. Here's your low, and there's your high. Okay. Looking at areas, yeah, there's a small base here. It kind of missed the pullback. You can see there's another base here around the 50. But the big question is, where does it stop? Right now, if I just extended this level across, we had used one of this level before for news, this 14. We're kind of there now. We're kind of basing, and it's like, is this going to be that reversal that we were looking at before? Remember, we knew we had a racetrack in here. We knew we had some decent basing. This was a target on longs that we were looking for. And that's kind of like extend this across. You can see that's exactly what we're running into. And it is that 1008 range. We are kind of getting profit taking. If you look late last night, here's the 3 o'clock. Europeans have really kind of, besides the 530 pullback, it's been straight up. So from European Open, we're at 67 pips or 68 pips. It's got a 70 pip daily ATR. So is this a potential area for reversing? I'd say, yeah, probably. This is where you would expect to see those reversals to come in at. So just, again, am I telling you to pull the trigger, take a short? Not really, but don't be surprised if it does in this level. Especially with kind of where we are extended wise. This is where we would most likely see some type of reversal. Okay. Just for profit taking, not necessarily true reversals. And right now in the bigger kind of grand scheme of things, we do have a 50 above. There's nothing at 61.8. So, we got some room to run in this one. I think this one has the ability to go a bit higher. Are we going to get all the way back up into the 93, 94 range? I don't know. Maybe Pal can help us with that, talking about how we still got way too far to go, right? So there could be some room to the top side. But right now, I think, again, if you are long, think about taking profit. I do see this one turning and rolling back to the downside a bit. Dollar yen. All right, so We had a little Harry Potter. We mentioned that, hey, listen, we could definitely take a hit off of this, and we did. You can see it did not. I'll move this other way. It did not break at 11:30, 12 o'clock. We did hit it. We pulled back down again and started getting basing. It's like, oh, it's stabilizing buyers to go higher. Okay. We talked about breaking through 136.70, right? And you can see we kind of came up, we based, we pulled back a little bit and then took off, right? We got a green, a red, and a green, right? We got a green, red, green here. So there's many opportunities to get into this trade. It is also out, right? So if you had done it here, oh man, I did it again. I like nailed the line and then I messed the other part of it up, right? And 1 of 3 is only here. It wasn't that big of a mover, right? So you're out there. Because we knew we had this racetrack here. We were just looking for where the near term base was, and again, kind of confirmed it here. Had you taken it the other way, red, green, red didn't do it. Red, let's see, green, red, green didn't. Green, red, green, right there. So there's your confirmation run, right? Or if you didn't like that one, right? If you weren't a fan of that one, that wasn't your green, you could have said, okay, there, right? So either one is good. Overall, we talked about profit being right here to here. And that's exactly what we just ran into. What's it doing? Starting to pull back. Next hiccup on this one. There's two. Oh crap! I moved it. Just make sure everybody knows if this does get enough strength to come through, we are getting really, really high on the curve there and there. So again, another one that's just out just a little while ago. Again, pretty easy draw. We talked about it yesterday. Breaking through that top side, we wanted to know, right? And again, got the initial pullback, and then when it went through, we're like, yeah, it's breaking, and it pulled back in on the other side. So again, this trend continuation is always nice, you know. And again, if you were worried about the 78.6 because that was sitting right there, it kind of played back and forth on the 78.6 for a second, and then just broke through. It had to come back and grab the buyers there at that old level, right? Old becomes new, right? Again, that was this Harry Potter trade. All right. So right now, wait for it to go a little higher. I'm gonna say, kind of, you know, it's up there. It's up there. We're high in the curve. Do I think that 137, 138 is horrible? Not with what we have going on with the dollar. I think a lot of the statements and the acceptance, I think it makes sense. Excuse me. Bitcoin. Wow, Bitcoin back down at 26.6. A lot of those crypto people are real quiet this week, right? They were all cheering again when it's back at 30, and now they're getting quiet again. I cannot believe Dogecoin is still around. Still at 7 cents versus like what was it, like 11 before? Right? Not much movement there. TLT 102. All right, so let's go over. Let's look at this oil. Look at this oil thing. Wow, look at this already. Straight up, straight down. Again, 1, 2. Right, doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4 is your hit. It's going to break. It's no longer valid. Unfortunately, with it slicing through and basing here, we're looking for a push up to 72.40, but we're not getting the entry we're looking for. Let's see if it's set up for news yet. Not yet. Not yet. um, it's not ready yet. I'm not seeing any stabilization. I'm seeing a lot of movement, but I ain't seeing any stabilization yet on this one. um, yeah, it's not slowing yet. I mean, we got 14 minutes to go, or 15 minutes to go, but I'm not seeing any type of slow at this point. Nothing there yet that leads me to believe we're getting ready to trade this one for news. What's the expectation? They're still saying 1.5% or 1.5 million down draw. 1.3. So the forecasts are close, but they're saying it's a 3.6 build. On a 5 minute, we should see more slow, but we're not getting any slow. There's a couple small levels here. Nothing that I'm like, I love that one. That's great. Not the best of tops. seeing this explosion at 9 o'clock and right back down again. It's not what we want for news. We want it to be slow. Give us a pullback, decent something there. Ugh, not great. We'll come back to that in a couple minutes. Yeah, natural gas as well. Hit that 8 o'clock window and it's just through the floor. Yeah, so it looks like yesterday that was the high. 423 traders. Look at it. It went through and then came back up and used the 23 to continue with short. But ideally, look at this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We broke through that basing level. So it looks like we have targets here and here. Again, not perfectly lined up with a 1561. Here we go. Look, forecast goes lower, right? As we see mild weather for Eastern markets. I'm in the Eastern market. Can it go back down to 2? I'd like to. I think 2 would be good. I would be okay with 2. Right? I would be good with that. 2 would be fine. Right? 2 would be fine. Yeah, I don't, it's too much movement for me. I don't think there's much in this one. I was trying to see if there was a decent top. Not really. It's okay. I don't know. Probably going to be some selling coming in there next time, the 24.34. I'm sorry, 243. Yeah, I would just say, I mean, for me right now, this is kind of like it's more just a downward market, right? Uh, I mean, there's not, yeah, I would say lower, right? Lower, but mm, yeah, I think either of those two are decent bounces. But yeah, I would say lower in this one. Um, yeah, gold. I'm trying to see if there's any good on this one. Look, gold rallying up. Gold bouncing off something. No. Yeah, this is the problem we have here. Dink, 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 dink. We're the third one down. We're pushing for the fourth one. So this is like 6 times. Not pull back anymore. Yeah, so 1989. 1989 is where you would see that one. So, yeah, decent short. Let's move this across. Get this one set up. I hate when it does that. 1969.12. There we go. All right. So again, seeing a little bit of a pullback, and we get to 1989.62. Again, we can pull the trigger there. Again, it'll be the 23.6. Again, nice little push to the downside. Very easy draw, high to low. Again, I didn't do it from there because this is kind of just, again, this is the current trend pullback. I mean, I guess you could do it there. It doesn't really change where the 23 is. The 23 ends up there either way, right? Um, it bisects it either way, but I'm going with the more a little bit more of aggressive on that one. Okay. Silver. There's yesterday. Look, this is the downward push. Went right into it before news. Popped up. Got out at 8. Let's pull that off. Look at all the basing in here. Right now, again, kind of the same thing. Spike up, spike down, back at the same level of price. We can drag this down. Again, the 23 doesn't really matter. It's not in a level that I'm really concerned about. This. Get some of these targets off. Yeah, not super concerned about this yet. So, yeah, this is up 0.01. So again, if we start getting more dollar strength rolling back in, if gold continues to move when gold turns and rolls, this one will probably turn and roll at the same time. So, it's fine. Nothing crazy. Oop, flying here. Yeah, let's see. Let's go back to oil. Is oil doing anything stabilizing? Kind of. Kinda is trying. Um, I wish there was something better on this one. Keep running. There's a pause, but the pause is not like in a level. I'm like, yep, great. If it had paused here, really, I'm not a super fan. Really, I'm not even a super fan of this level. But if we pause there, I don't think that would be the worst of things. Um, Even if it's like dink, 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 straight up. Tesla, Tesla with a nice pop today, up 3%. Apple, opposite. All right, let's see what we got indices wise. Yeah, dollar popped a little bit, but it's pulling back in. It's having a lot of problems. Big set of popping down. Let's see. ES wise, what do we got here? Was there some trades this morning? 9:30. Nope. Nope. We're putting in new highs. There was a little bit of a confirmation at 7:15, and then here's your 8:15. There's your 9. There's your 9:15. We didn't quite get to it. We're close. We're close. There's a little bit of an overnight trade here that you could have looked at. Right here's a zone formed at 3:30. Kind of playing a reversal at 10 o'clock. It's been there before. It wasn't the first time that it'd been in that zone, so we could have adjusted this back just a little bit over here and said, "Listen, let's do it here." There's your confirmation. There's your touch. Unfortunately, it wouldn't have made it in there. You really needed to have the top of that body. So a little bit deep. A little bit deep. Now this is a reversal. This is not an opening print. 9:30 was the peak. Drove it straight down again. So um, again, not really opening print, but you should have your stop loss at break even if you're in this long. Don't have this one cost you. Right there. It's not even taking to the high for the day. So not opening print though. NQ. NQ did the same thing. Kind of the same level. Not 15. Nope. Nothing up here, but this was from yesterday at like 3 o'clock. Uh, we could have traded that one, sure. Or you could have traded that. Doesn't quite qualify as our opening print because it's yesterday, but you could have traded it. There was the last big push off of price. And kind of the same thing. 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock. So this is more that kind of profit taking from the open. Um, this one's probably out. Yeah, it's out. It just got out. Yeah. Yeah. So you could have traded this one in two ways. Neither of them an opening print though. The 9:30 did spike up, but typically we're looking for some type of a touch in the overnight. This was a high in the overnight. This was actually from yesterday at 3 o'clock. So absolutely, sellers are absolutely stacking right there, right? And all it did was come up, grab it, and turn and reroll. So yeah, it could have been a little quick little snipe there. There are worse things out there. YM. 845, 915. Again, there's nothing over here for this side. Is there anything clear over here? Not really until down here. And even then, it's not the best. So this, you would not have used this. 45, yeah. So nothing with YM. YM didn't even have the grab at the top. It needed to go higher. Nothing there. Russell, 915. Same thing. Nothing over there. Not even really a bottom look. Spike straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up. So nothing to really grab. Again, it's been there 3 times now. Russell would have had nothing today. Again, Russell can be a little bit weird. Yeah, so it looks like, again, this one is 10 o'clock reversal, not an opening print. NQ would have had, you could have got this one on the open, although not necessarily our rules because it hit from yesterday, but absolutely seller sitting up there. And then this reversal. Again, had you taken the short, you're good. If you're taking the long, you're good. So NQ was a great one today. YM, unfortunately, it was too high and didn't go low enough. So there wasn't really anything there. And then again, Russell was just too weird. No zones, straight up, straight down. No zones anywhere in here. So, yeah, yucky, yucky, yucky. Let's see. Well, that's interesting on the 3. You are sitting in a little zone there. Let's see. Yeah, it's that one up top. Remember I said it could be this one? Getting real close. Getting real close. And see how it's starting to slow now? Right? It's getting smaller, 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 smaller. Right? That's kind of what it's looking like now. 1 to 3 is there. It doesn't even need to go back down again. So I like this one better, but if you look on the 3, it's a little bit easier to see. Right? Where that zone actually is. And on the 1 minute, you can see it's halt. It's starting to do its halt 3 minutes beforehand. I like this halt here better, but we're not in a zone. At least this is in a zone, although it's kind of, we push the zone a little deep, but yeah, so that's kind of where you're set. All right. Look at that. I love that. Such an upgrade. Why didn't they do that like 10 years ago? Right? Such a great upgrade. Right? Such a great upgrade. Definitely a fan of that one. Yeah, I gotta say it's nice. Love that. All right, let's get the giveaway set up and ready to go. So we got news in 2 minutes. So I'll wait for 2:30 on this one, and we'll kind of see. Actually, you know what? We got 2 minutes. So I'll let this go to 3. You guys can get your last little pieces in here on the contest. No Will today again. I wonder what Will's up to. Actually, I think Will was here yesterday. I think Will was in yesterday. Lemonade Craig was here yesterday too. So we had more in yesterday. Ernest is like, ha, they're gonna give it to me cheap. I'm making sure. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So 30 seconds to go. Let's see. What is crew doing? Oh, it's trying. It's trying to push in. It's pausing. It's like, oh. I'm telling you, I like this top one so much better than this one. But unfortunately, this is where it's holding. Question is, will we be able to hold it before the news comes out? Or is this one going to go clink, clink? I'm wondering if that's what it's going to do. 1 minute to go. Clink, clink. See how it goes. All right, here we go. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Boom. All right. Okay. Work. Not this. Giveaways. There we go. Whew. That was weird. God, I was like, oh, I would have messed that up. All right, here we go. Winner of today's rolling is. Oh, it's doing it again. I clicked it once. I did click it. I clicked it. So we're just going to let it sit there because we learned our lesson before, right? There we go. Man, that another like 10-second delay. I don't know. I don't know why that happens. Ernest won this one. Ernest was the big blind on the poker table. He was throwing his weight around. He said, yeah, 25 years of eating barbecue. I'm going to throw my weight around. And he did. And he wins it. And he gets his 100 pip chips today. Because that was number 2, which means tomorrow Tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow is the big day. So let's see. Pending, pending, pending. Ooh, look at that one. Just a bit outside. +5. So they missed it by 6.5 million barrels. Supposed to be a down draw. A lot of extra supply in there. So funny enough, the way that this one looked, it actually did just at the peak. It did just peak out the top and then look at that immediate drop. So we called for a drop down. Um, yeah, it literally went right above. Actually, this is not on. It should be right. It won't let me do it because it goes by a penny. I can't grab it to the penny. But yeah, there's your push down. So yeah, look at that. Rally up, paused, went just a little bit higher. It's like, oh man, pull that trigger on the way out, and there you go. It should push through. So makes sense. Um, yeah, kind of a fun one there. All right, with that, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We got a little bit of news tonight. Again, that unemployment changed. Again, it's a 9:30 release. Those are awesome times. Play that thing in the overnight. Should be pretty decent today too. So with that, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you then. Have a good one.